Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'll lead you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are loads of resources available to help you if you go to my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. They're available to download in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're in the exam room working through the exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store, and we're now going to continue with Grade 5 2016 Past Paper A. We've completed the first question in the previous video, and so the next question looks to be question 2, which is on page 3. However, we're not going to do this because the choral element is now no longer part of the exam. I do suggest you have a go of it in your music theory and practice workbook, but there's no need for us to do that because it's no longer on the exam. So we won't do this question, we'll just skip on to question 3. And so question 3 is on pages 4 and 5, and it all relates to this little extract of music here. And so if you just have a glance through the questions, have a go at those. Do try them on your own. Always work in pencil. Have a nice sharp pencil and an eraser and a ruler to hand. And then it doesn't matter if you go wrong. You can always just try again. And so let's have a work through these together and let's see how we get on. And so here we have a German term, ruhig. I apologise for my dreadful pronunciation there. I presume that's how you pronounce it. However, it means tranquil, or I suppose you could say calm, or you could even say peaceful. Any of these will suffice. You could even say serene. Any of those. There's an awful lot of performance directions to be learned, and so I suggest that you just revise those and group all of the accumulated words from grade 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in thematic groups. Even colour code them, do whatever it is, get creative with your revision techniques. In the exam from 2018 onwards, the newly revised exam, these will be presented in multiple choice. However, you still need to know them. So let's have a go at the next one. So this is right back to grade 1. Legato means smoothly, or slurred would also be acceptable. Play in a smooth, connected manner. Let's have a look. Complete the following statements. Let's just move this. So it's asking us, can all of the notes complete the following statement. All of the notes in the piano part of bar 6 to 7 can be found in the scale of what major? So we need to describe which key, which scale bar 6 to 7 are part of. So we have a key signature of 2 sharps. And although there have been lots of accidentals going on here, all of those are cancelled and we're just now restricted to the key signature. So a key signature of 2 sharps is that of D major. So it's really as simple as that. D major. No sneaky business there. The next question asks us to rewrite the first 2 notes in the voice part of bar 2. It's marked here with a bracket, so it's these 2 notes here. But we need to make sure that they sound at the same pitch, but we're using the tenor clef, and we need to put in the clef and the key signature. So the tenor clef is on this second line down, so we can give our hooks just a vague tenor clef there, that'll do. So the key signature, so we need an F sharp and a C sharp. C, B, A, G, F sharp is the second line from the bottom, and of course the C sharp is where the clef is centered. So that's our key signature, and now we need to make sure we don't jump any octaves and we keep the same pitch. So use middle C as your anchor point, and so we've got the C, B, A, G, F below middle C, and so let's find that. C, B, A, G, F, that's where we've positioned our first sharp. And then you'll notice it goes down a third, so we'll do the same to the D. So down a third, and that's correct, we just need the stems on now. There we go. And so we move over the page to page 5, but all of this is still relating to the same piece of music on page 4. And so we need to add the correct rests at the place marked with a star to complete bar 3 of the voice part. So here we are. And so 9/8 is 3 groups of 3 quaver beats, 3/8 notes. So we've got 3 dotted crotchet beats. So we need to show that in the way that we write our rests. And so we would have 2 quaver beat rests to complete this, 2 8th note rests to complete this, and then we have 2 dotted crotchet beats there. Remember that every new beat requires a new rest, and that way we're showing the compound time divisions accurately. So we're showing where each new beat falls. So that's that now complete. And so we're now asked to describe the time signature. Is it simple or compound? Well, you'd need to know that before you could answer the earlier question actually. So we've already answered that. And we know that it's compound time. We're grouped in 3s. And so that's that one completed. And then is it 2, 3 or 4 beats in a bar, duple, triple or quadruple? And 9/8 is 3 groups, 3 beats per bar. We've already discovered that. You'd need to know that for the previous question, and so we know that it's a compound triple time signature. And so let's crack on. We're asked to give the technical names of the 2 notes in the voice part marked A and B. The key is B minor, so they've helped us there by telling us that. So if we work out the scale, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Of course B is full circle, so we don't need to bother with that. You don't need to bother with any of your accidentals. We're just worried about the steps of the scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so bar 1, the A is a letter E. It's a note E. And so E is the 4th degree of the scale. And so we know that that is the subdominant. So it's just being confident with these terms if you just need to revise those. And then bar 2, let's have a look at this one, is a note C, and so that's the 2nd degree of the scale, and that's the supertonic, as in it's above the tonic. Next question. Write as a breve or a double whole note an enharmonic equivalent, that means it sounds the same but it's written differently, of the last voice note of the extract. And so here's the last note in the voice part. This is the piano part. This is the bass solo, the singer. And so here we need to be able to write a D, but we're going to give it an enharmonic equivalent. And so this is where you might find your piano keyboard helpful. We could either have an E double flat, or we could have a C double sharp. Either of those would work. So let's start off with an E double flat. So here's the E. Make sure you get the correct octave. So we were on this D, so this is the E. We make a breve or a double whole note, and then we need a double flat. So that would now sound the same, E double flat. Alternatively, we could go lower and then give it a double sharp. So the C, it's already C sharp, but we need it to be double sharp. So C double sharp, that's the enharmonic equivalent. There we go then. It's much easier if you can just visualise that on the piano keyboard. Even if you don't play piano, it's a good idea to just have this as an easy reference point. We're getting there. Let's have a look at question C. And so it's asked us to answer true or false to these two statements here. The largest melodic interval between two notes next to each other in the voice part is a diminished fourth. Let's have a look. So in the voice part, we're looking to see what the largest interval is. So here, that's a fourth. Whether it's diminished or not, we'll work out in a moment. Let's just glance through and see if there's anything larger. That's a third, so that's not larger. Here we've got that same interval again. That's the fourth. That's a fourth as well. So let's just find out if this is a diminished fourth. Now we've got an F sharp to a B. Now F to B flat we know is a perfect fourth. So F sharp to B is just a parallel movement, so that's still a perfect fourth. So actually that's larger than the diminished, so that's not correct because the interval they've suggested is smaller, so that can't be the largest. Let's look at this next one here. We've got an E to an A, which again is a perfect fourth. So actually that's an incorrect statement, it's false. The perfect fourth's not diminished. So you just need to just look at the chromatic alterations, and there aren't any, it's just a perfect fourth. So let's look at the next question. The chord marked X in the piano part of bar 1. So we're looking at this chord here in the piano part, and it's asked us to say if it is a subdominant chord, the second inversion of the key of B minor. So we need to just work out our chords. So let's just work out our chords for B minor. So I'm just going to sketch these here. So 1, 2, we're not using 3, 4 and 5, B, C, D, E, F. So let's work out the triads based on the first, the third and the fifth. B, D, F, C, E, G, E, G, B, F, A, C. And there's our root, position and inversions. And so let's see what this chord is. We've got a B, a G, a B and an E. And so it's chord 4. And then the root note, the bottom note, is a B, which makes it a 4C. And so that is correct. That is the chord that we've got. And so we would say true to that. Takes a little bit of figuring out, but there we go. We've got there. So just a bit of general information now to finish this section. Give the name of the voice part which lies between the tenor and the bass in the vocal range. Just a bit of general knowledge here. That's a baritone. I've given you that information on the PDF. It's just a bit of general information. And then the last question. Name a standard orchestral instrument that could play the voice part. So we're looking for an orchestral instrument that could play bass in this range. It's quite high up in the bass. So it's not going to be jumping octaves or having to transpose, and we need to say which family it belongs. So I would suggest of the woodwind family, we could choose the bassoon. Of the string family, if you wanted to choose that, we could choose the cello, or we could choose the double bass. I guess you could even choose the harp if you wanted to. And then if we wanted to choose the brass family, either of these answers will do, any of these. We could choose the tuba, that's the bass instrument, or the horn is also in that range. So any of those will do. Well, that's the end of that question. I hope that you found that helpful. We'll look at the last part in the next video. I do hope that you finding this beneficial. If you can give me a like, that'd be fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Do go to sharonbill.com and make use of all of the information there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.